Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is the week 4 of our programming with C++ series. Today we are going to be talking about statements, the types of statements, expressions, and the types of expressions in C++. So let's begin. You might ask, what are expressions? Expressions are the combinations of variables, operators, and operands. That's expressions. An example of an expression is, let me just put it first. Example of an expression is, see, this is an expression. So in this expression, in an expression, we know there's a combination of operands and operators, and we can also say the assignment operator. So in this expression, in expressions, the operands are the values. The should I even type it? Okay. Operands are the values, whilst the operators are the symbols used. The operators are the symbols used, like the plus. So in this expression, the operator is the plus. Yeah, that's it. So let's continue. That's an example of an expression. So we have types of expression. We have the integer expression, which deals with only whole numbers, as I previously said. We have the float expression, which deals with only float or decimal numbers. We also have the mixed expression. That one deals with both the the float and the integer expression. An example of a mixed expression. A mixed expression is, I can say, 20 plus 24.9. This is an example of a mixed expression with a combination of both the integers and the operators, and the integers and the floats. So let's continue. So every expression ends with a semicolon. This is a semicolon I'm talking about. You see, every time I write an expression, I always end with a semicolon. That's one thing you should know. Then we'll always talk about comments. This thing I'm doing is just a comment. This whole statement is a comment. So comments are just high level languages that are written in, it's not really a code. It's not really a code. It's just English that helps you to understand what the code is about. So let's say an example is, let's say I am a company employs um Kofi to build a software for them. Then maybe something happens, God forbid, but maybe they sack Kofi and they bring in a new person to continue the website building. He's going to continue, and maybe his way of coding is different from Kofi's way of coding. So he has to understand Kofi's way of coding. He needs to know what he did here and why he did this and this and that and that. So the comments, if Kofi puts a comment inside, the comment is going to help him know that, oh, this is why he did this. This the comment explains the code. And with comments, we have types of comments. We have the single line comment, which is this, and we also have the double line comment, and then as a double multi-line comment, which is this. So if I want to give a comment on a single line, I'm just going to use this and give the comment. But if it's going to be, let's say, going to be more than two, I'm going to put this. So you see, in this one it's a comment, and this one is a multi-line comment. So you see the comment, and the syntax is what the this and the hash. That's the multi-line comment. So let's continue. We also have, sorry, I've also mentioned some of the types of expression. We have the conditional expression, that one deals with conditions. We have the rational expressions. We have the logical expressions, the pointer expression. That one, it points to the memory of another variable. We also have the end. There was in the ending expression. That's the one that ends with this. Every expression ends with this. The semicolon. So let's continue. Let's go for the indentation. So what I would was indentation. Indentation is just to make the code more readable and understandable. That's just indentation. And some examples of indentation are, I can say, look, no, should I say examples? Mm, yeah, let me give an example of an indentation. So example of an indentation, that's the indentation. Okay. So int is equal to 5 and b equal to what's it? Semicolon. Then if, let's say, I want to talk about the if statement soon. Let's say if a is greater than b, then you should print what? Hello world. If a is greater than b, you should print hello world. That's it. That's just this is an example of indentation. Then we also talk about statement. Statement is just a single line of code. It's just a single line of code that is used to perform an action or use execute an action. That's a statement. So a statement. Yes, a single line, single no, sorry, a single line, it's a single instruction. Single, sorry, my bad, excuse me, a single instruction order is used to perform action. Action. That's statement. We also have types of statements. We have the compound statement. An example of a compound statement. So types of statements. Statements. Okay. Statement. Now an example of it is mostly in starts with mostly it is mostly in a curly bracket. This is a curly bracket. This is a curly bracket. Mostly compound statements are in a curly bracket. Then it's just the type of statement that groups multiple other statements together. Yeah, that's the compound statement. It groups other multiple other Muslim statements together. For an example, then I can say int if is equal to 20, int if then set if. This is an example of a compound statement. So you see one statement, two statements. So there's group of statements. It's a collection of statements. We also have the selection statement. That one, it deals with the condition. It's more of like a conditional statement. And an example of a selection statement. Yes. If an example of a collectional statement is if else. Is it? Yeah, if you can say if the if statement there, you can also talk about the switch statement. That's an example of collection and um, selection statement. So let me give you how the if is used. The if statement is used. How the if statement is used. So first, let me first. So the example of an if statement is going to be, let's say if, then I'm going to give the expression. So if, let's say first I'm supposed to give um, supposed to declare variable. So a is equal to 90, b is equal to 30. Yeah, I can say what if, so if a is greater than b, then see out, then you see out. See out a, yes, there's a, sorry, I made a mistake. So to put in a curly bracket. Yes, you see, this is it. This is an example of an if statement. So if it's not, so if it what's the name? If it's not, then that's when the else statement is going to come in. So I'll go with the if. So that's the if else statement. So let's talk about the if else statement. Um, should I just continue with it? Yes, I'm just continue with it instead. So otherwise else. This is an example of what's the name? If statement. So I can, for example, just make this one. I say if a is greater than 12. Yep, this is an example of an if else statement. Continue with the, just continue. Let's talk about the nested if. Nested if. Nested if. The nested if statement is just a collection of two or more if statements together. So, an example, let's say if and the statement. So, as an example, nested if statement. So let's continue. Let's talk about the switch statement. All these are types. What's the types of statements we should know? The switch statement. So the switch statement is just switch between. It's just for decision making. You can say it allows you to switch between multiple choices. That's a switch statement. So an example, comment this. That okay. Because of switch statements, I can say why is like the else. So I'm not saying it's else statement, but it's like becomes an example of switch statement. Yes, for switch statement. So it's like saying if within the if statement say int add is equal to what 16, right? Switch add. So if the case if case was the if the case is like if Ado is what's the name is 14, she print Ado is good by what's the name then break because it's a loop, then default else, so like else Ado is not. That's the response. So means it's supposed to print what Ado is not because is that Ado is 16 but I assume what Ado is 14, so it's going to print Ado is not. That's it. Then the break statement is just to exit what's the name the loop immediately. So this is a loop. So yes, the break statement is just to edit it immediately, exit it immediately. Let's continue. We also have other types of statements. We have the continuous statement. That one it is just it is used to skip the statement and move on with the other one. It is used to skip that particular statement and move on with the other one. That's a continuous statement. The same way you use the break statement. So if I want to use a continuous statement, I'm going to change this break into what continue. I'll change one to into continue. That's the only difference between the two of them. Then let's go for the operators. Just I was the operators. So you already know the operators. The operators are the symbols that are used to operate and what's in operands. We also have types of operators. We have the I'm going to type it here. We have one them arithmetic operator. That one that's just basically the basic operators, the like the plus minus those things. That's the arithmetic operator. So that one is the plus, the minus the times, the division, the multiplication, all those ones. That's the arithmetic operator. Then we also have the assignment operator. The assignment operator is the equal to Ages of Trident. Then so we have there. That one is just the equal to operator. That's what it used to give the result. Then we also have the logical operator, the logical operator. See, that one, an example is that's the or, the and the not and others. So, but in programming, if you're using the logical operator, you can't just write or and do so. So in programming, the or is written as um, or is written as this. No, sorry, this. This is how the or is written, and the end is written as this. Then the not is written as well. That's it. So that is it. Then that's the logical operator. You have the conditional operator. That's that one. Just to it is used to form an expression that produces either two values. Depending on the value of some of the conditions. So an example is for the equal to the assignment operator, right? Since we go to x this y. So this is just the conditional operator. I see there are two. This is an example of a conditional operator. Yeah. So I think that's basically it for operators. Now, so now when we're done, I would like you to try a work. If you can, it's like more of a homework. If you can build a desktop calculator, a desktop calculator is just simply a normal calculator, but not a scientific calculator. So it means the only operators that might be inside are the plus operator, the minus, the division, and the multiplication. Then the equal to, yeah, that's it. So that's just a desktop calculator. So if you can build a desktop calculator from what you learned from week 1 to now, which is week 4, so you can use to build a desktop calculator. So thank you. I'd like to meet you in my next lesson, which is week 5.